Hey everyone, before this video starts, I want to give a quick shout out to the Lost Media Wiki. The people behind the Lost Media Wiki have been struggling lately and are in need of funds to keep their website going properly. If you would like to help, I'll be leaving a link to their Patreon in the description below. Every donation helps, so if you cannot afford to make a donation, then please consider sharing a link to their Patreon on social media and get the word out there. This wiki is an extremely useful tool for collecting data on all things Lost Media, and it would be a shame to lose it. Anyways, on to the video.
Time for some fun and celebrating.
Why don't you mind your own f***ing business, pal? Breakdown!
So last year, I made a video about a YTV game show called Uh-Oh, a show where kids will be put into teams of 2 and to have to get points by either answering questions or doing challenges. To determine what you were going to do for said points, one team member would spin a giant wheel that contained several options. The options either made you have to guess trivia questions or have to do some sort of challenge or obstacle. There's also an option on the wheel called Uh-Oh, in which the other kid on the team is dragged into a chamber by the Punisher and has slime poured on top of him. Now you're probably wondering, why am I talking about the show again? Well, after I made that video, I had another video I wanted to do on a different kids game show that also aired on YTV. This show not only predates Uh-Oh, but it also ended after Uh-Oh's run. And if you were a kid anytime between the early 90s and mid 2000s and lived in Canada, you probably know the show in question. Yes, the show I am looking at today is Video and Arcade Top 10. Video and Arcade Top 10 aired in 1991 and was originally hosted by Gordon Boivette. However, the following year, in 1992, the host was changed to the man with the best pickle-related name ever, Nicholas Pickles. That's right, eat your heart out, Pickle Rick, you cringe-ass son of a bitch.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Fuck you! I ain't having that shit!
Nicholas Pickles would host the show for the remainder of the show's run. In other words, he hosted the show for 14 years. That's right, this show started in 1991 and ended in 2006. That is insane for any sort of show, let alone a game show about video games for kids. Something like this is practically unheard of. Speaking of the show, Video and Arcade Top 10 would pin 3 kids against each other by making them all play a random video game. The host, Nicholas Pickles, would state rules in order to win at the start of every match. The rules were usually basic, such as whoever has the most points wins, or whoever gets to the end first wins. At the end, the first place winner would receive a copy of the game they just played, as well as a smaller prize such as a watch. The winner would then play the bonus round, where they would have to reach their hand inside a bag filled with balls.
Hey, phrase it!
God, I am immature. Anyways, there are 10 white balls and 1 red ball. The white balls were all numbered to match a corresponding prize, but the red balls allowed the winner to pick whatever prize they want. The prizes are usually from show sponsors and consisted of items like board games and toys and whatnot. Second place, in later seasons anyway, would get 2 passes to Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament in Toronto, a restaurant that not only was Medieval Times themed, but also features a jousting tournament. And then third and fourth place would get sweaters with the show's logo on it. These 2 rounds would happen twice in each episode, but the second time would feature different contestants and a new game to play. Throughout the 2 rounds, however, side segments were put in, some of which are presented by side hosts. These segments are DNA Update, a segment that was hosted by various side hosts where the host would give updates and tips and tricks on newly released video games. Music Review. This segment boosts a new album that is newly released at the time. They would then show a clip from a music video for one of the album's songs, then announce a contest where a viewer could write in to answer a question related to the album, artist, or music video in question. The segment would end with announcing the previous winner from the last contest and award them a CD or a movie. Movie Review. Movie Review, or just movies, is honestly the exact same thing as Music Review, but this time a side host talks about a movie that recently came out on home video and is available at either Rogers Video or Jumbo Video. They also ran a similar contest, but this time the prizes are free movie rental passes. Yeah, one thing is for sure, these 2 segments, especially movies, dates this show quite a bit, but in the best way possible. I grew up with rental stores, most notably Blockbuster, and although I am a man that quite frequently uses streaming services due to the convenience factor, I still do miss the days of going to Blockbuster on a Friday night, seeing the shelves of movies and video games to rent, getting to pick a game or movie to rent for the weekend, and watching my dad have to forcefully convince the cashier to let us rent the damn shit, regardless of our triple-digit late fees. That part might have never happened. The late fees were all too real though. I don't know where this tangent is going, but yeah, the movie rental days were the shit. Anyways, Letter Time, a simple segment hosted by Nicholas Pickles where he would read viewer fan mail and then give the sender a game afterwards. Fuck, I should have sent a letter in, man. I was and still am a huge gamer. I would have loved free games. Fuck! Turbo Tips. This segment runs during the main gameplay segment and is where Nicholas Pickles gives tips and tricks for the 2 games that were featured in the episode. And lastly, V&A Top 3. This segment, which was called V&A Top 10 in earlier episodes, features a side host listing off the top 3 games sold that week. The segment also featured a contest where viewers at home could win a prize by being the first to write in with a solution to a code or hint from a game not shown in the episode. Now, there were a couple of things I noticed while rewatching this show. The first thing was that the outer segments I just mentioned take up most of the show's runtime, meaning for a game show about kids playing video games, there really isn't much footage of kids playing video games. I mean, yes, the game show is still a part of the, game show, but with all of these side segments, you almost forget you're watching a game show and it ends up feeling more like the other thing I noticed, which is that this show is basically a glorified commercial for whatever game the kids are playing. As while the kids are playing, the host would commentate about how awesome everything in the game is, as well as how everything in the game works. I mean, just take a listen.
They'll be left stunned, exhausted, and vulnerable, and also hurt inside. It's a perfect time to launch a full-scale attack to finish them off.
Your Awesome Axe Club or Super Spear Knight might come in handy in this situation.
And check out Rhino's powerful charge attack can deal enough damage to crush our car and must be avoided if Spidey is to defeat him.
So, does this make the show bad? Honestly, no. I quite enjoy watching this show again. It brought me back to an era in time that was much simpler, especially compared to today's times. The show is an absolute blast from the past, with not only the feel and look it brings, but the games being played as well. It is no secret that gaming is a big part of who I am. I've been playing and collecting games since my childhood, starting with the SNES, all the way up to today's consoles. Gaming has provided the perfect escape for me when I feel I just need a break from it all, and it's shows like this that help me get hooked. Video and Arcade provides a solid 25 minutes of gaming goodness, fun hosts, and an overall entertaining show that is truly a product of its time, but also somewhat ahead of its time. As well, these days, watching people play video games is as common as the sky. It's just something people do now, thanks to sites like Twitch. If you have the time, give the show a watch, as a good handful of episodes are on YouTube, and there is even a playlist. However, it does seem like given how long the show went on for, that not every episode is accounted for. In fact, a good portion of them seem to be lost to time. Hopefully the show gets released in full in some way at some point. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button and like this video. Also, if you want to go beyond that and get a shout out like Ryan Smith, then check out my Patreon and get exclusive perks like shout outs and early viewings of new videos. Anyways, I got more videos to make, so we'll be back soon. Take care.